back to the MindFckd podcast.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Lauren, and this is episode 2 of our brand new Conspiracy podcast.
And today we're talking all things sleep, and we are joined by a very special guest, our very own Darcy.
Woo!
Hi.
But first, before we dive in, guys, we're going to head down that rabbit hole. We'll see you there. And we're here. It's a very, very exciting journey that I really do enjoy it. So, Alex, tell us all about this sleep conspiracy that we're going to be debunking today.
So today we're going to be talking to Darcy about the conspiracy of astral projection, which she's going to explain to us in a minute.
Tell us, Darcy, what even is astral projection?
So, astral projection is essentially where you kind of leave your body and float around a bit, I guess.
Nice.
Sounds fun.
That's the best way I would explain it. And the reason why I'm here is because it happened to me as a kid.
See, this is very crazy to me. This is very cool. Can you explain what happened?
So, I was probably about 6 or 7 years old, and I went to sleep like I do every single night. Woke up, thought that I woke up, walked to the top of my landing, to the stairs, started hovering. This is going to sound really crazy, but I promise you this happened. Started hovering, hovered, floated all the way down my stairs, got to the bottom, was like, oh, that was sick. Walked back up, got back into bed, went to sleep. Woke up in the morning, and I was like, oh, that seems a bit strange. How did I just do that? Walked to the top of my stairs and thought, I'm gonna maybe I should try again. And then I thought, no, I'm gonna break my legs if I try that.
Valid.
So obviously,
Reason kicked in there.
So then, never happened again. But the same thing did happen to my sister. She had the exact same experience.
What if it's genetic?
Maybe.
Maybe
Do you know
it's
what
a
you were
family
talking
thing.
about? Maybe it's a family thing. When you were talking about that, I was actually thinking, it sounds like Peter Pan. They wake up in the middle of the night, they start floating, flying somewhere, and then they get back into bed. Maybe Peter Pan visited you that night.
Do you remember
the new ending?
vividly then?
Yeah. So a lot of the time people say, well, you probably just dreamt it. And there is that possibility, hence why it's a conspiracy. But I vividly remember, I thought that I was in my own body. Obviously I wasn't. But since researching astral projection, a lot of people report that this happened to them as a child at night time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for so many people to have the same experience, there's got to be something more
Can't just be a
to
dream,
it.
because people aren't all going to have the same dream.
No.
I have read that astral projection is actually a spiritual thing, and people try and do it themselves.
Yeah, so
and
what's that about?
And so basically people say they'll go to sleep, but you know how people lucid dream? So they'll physically try and relax their body to try and be aware of their dreams. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Behind Her Eyes, but the whole thing is about her trying to perfect controlling her dreams. So it is a spiritual thing, but it is also a conspiracy, because I know quite a lot of people who said that they've just felt like they were floating down the stairs when they were younger.
Very odd.
Why is it always down the stairs?
I don't know.
Because maybe it's like they're trying to get somewhere, and then usually you're on floor 2, no? So usually you just float down. But that's very odd. Very funny that is. I kind of would love to know how that feels like, because that's you know how people say humans want to be able to fly?
Yeah.
It's kind of the closest you're going to get. But I wonder if you're in your own body or not. That's what I want to know.
Because is it you asleep and then your body floats out of itself?
Yeah.
Or is it you actually getting out of bed and then thinking that you're floating, not actually floating down the stairs?
When it happened to me, I thought I was in my body. But obviously, the only explanation for that sensation is you're not in your own body, because it's not physically possible. But then people also say that because you're a child and you think that things are more possible when you're a child, and you're not fully integrated in society, and you've still got...
You're not fully logical.
Yeah, there you go. You've still got...
Frontal lobe has not developed.
Exactly. People say that's why it happens when you're a kid and not so much when you're an adult, because you still believe that these things are possible.
I actually, when I was younger, I told you the other day, but I had a experience like that. I used to have this High School Musical blanket, and I remember
My favourite fact about this story.
floating in my garden above ground, probably only about that much above ground as well, just floating around it. And I thought that happened the next day. I remember being like, Mom, Dad, I was floating last night. They were like, no, you weren't.
She thought she was Aladdin and Jasmine
But
on her little carpet.
Isn't it weird how you still remember, you remember
It's
that.
vivid though.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not like a dream.
Obviously, I've never had it personally, so I can't understand where you guys are coming from. It's weird that you guys remember it so. When you're younger, I don't remember anything much when you're younger,
No.
do you?
No.
But let alone like a dream. So if it's that vivid, it must have been quite a big thing.
And it
So it was
stays with
vivid.
you. It stays with you though, genuinely.
That's so crazy.
Things like that, because they're not physically possible. Hence why it's a conspiracy theory.
Here's a question for you two. If you astral projected, let's say tonight, would you feel like, would it be even scarier than when you were younger, or like how would it feel differently? Like, would it feel different?
Scarier, because obviously it happened to me, but like I was a child, so I didn't know that was not normal, and it's not something you'd be like, you go to your friends and be like, guys, guess what happened last night? Like, you don't do that when you're a kid, really, do you? So now, if that was to happen to me, I'd think like, there's something not right up here. Like, what is going on? I'd probably come in and be like to you guys,
Oh, I've had an incident.
yeah, I need some help.
How about you, Alex? What would you feel like?
Oh, I think it'd either make me scared or like, oh, finally something good's happening in my life. Like
Something worth coming in and talking about.
Something interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'd be scared because I'd be like, I'm dying.
Yes.
Like, why am I floating around?
I feel like in that
my
moment, as well,
sleep?
you'd wake up in a sweat. You'd be so anxious.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be awful.
What would you
Not
think?
gonna lie, guys, I would just enjoy the ride. Like, I would just be quite stress free about it and be like, oh,
yeah, you
it's
say
another
that,
day in
though.
Lauren.
Floating
Yeah, but
around
also-
raw.
So, guys, the next conspiracy we'll discuss is the sleep paralysis demon. Now, firstly, we need to debunk this. Is he real or is he not? What are your thoughts, girls? Like, who is this sleep paralysis demon?
I actually think they are real. I do think though that I don't know whether it depends on what's going on in your mind or if there's actually a freaky demon standing in your bedroom. So
People say they see the same ones as well. I know there's a boy one and a
There's
girl
an old
one.
lady.
yeah,
There is an old lady.
So this is what is like makes me confused, is because everyone is so different. Everyone has different lives, but you can still dream of the same character. Like, does that not make you feel really anxious? Like, that's what the whole conspiracy is. So, are these demons the same demons?
Well, there is that conspiracy. Have you ever seen he's just called The Man, and he has that really creepy face, and apparently everyone's seen him in their dreams before.
Can you look up a picture?
Yeah.
Honestly, his face makes me feel quite
Guys,
ill.
who is this man? Is it because he's a man?
This one.
Oh no! No, wait. Why have I seen him?
Yeah.
It really makes me
and it
anxious.
gives
I'm
me
getting rid of it now.
palpitations.
I don't know if it's because I've got a monobrow. That disturbs me more than
Yeah, that's-
anything.
I think
quite
it's his
disturbing.
smile, but apparently that's who's walking
But
past.
I've seen him. I swear on my life I've seen him before. Can't say if it was in my dream or not, but
It's horrible.
So do you think that, like, what is it that the subconscious allows everyone? Do you think these people that are online that we've seen, these are the demons that, because you can't just make up a face in your head. We can't all have just made up the same face. It must be something or someone that we've seen online or we've seen on the news. What is it?
Well, I've always assumed that you make up faces from obviously people you walk past, but I reckon you could also make up a face built of other different faces that you've seen before.
And put them into one, yeah. The crazy thing about like sleep is that it's such an integral part of everyone's day because
Yeah.
it's so needed, but so many things are like, it's almost like you're not in control, and like it does scare you because you have to sleep. But then like some people might think, this is what I've had personally when I've had a few days of sleep paralysis, I don't want to sleep because I don't want to give my body the control
No.
to put me in. Talking of sleep paralysis, I had a horrific experience, guys.
Go on, Lauren, can you explain to us what your horrific experience is?
Do you know what, Alex? I can. I was lying on the couch with my dad having a nap, watching the TV. He sat next to me. And I wake up. My body does not wake up. So I'm sat there, lying there like, oh, I can't move. And I'm trying to swing my body to get it to move because I can't physically like wake up, and I'm like, well, if I rock myself and land on the floor, it will just jolt me awake. Because like I'm stressing now because I'm like, how am I going to be in this position forever? And it also like slows down my breathing. I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. Like I'm stressing out. Anyway, so I remember slapping my dad and be like, Dad, help me wake up, please. I remember feeling his like cotton jumper on my hand, like, Dad, come on, help me, please wake me up. And I remember saying, Dad. Anyway, finally wake up, dripping in sweat. And I turned to my dad and went, Dad, why did you not help me? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I literally was hitting you and calling your name, you didn't help me. And he was like, Lauren, you've not said a word, you've been asleep.
But you thought that you were like
Genuinely,
crying
I
for
remember
help.
like sobbing, like, Dad, help. And he didn't help me.
It's so weird that like you can think that you've done that and you can feel yourself moving, but you can't move, and then someone's literally in the room and they're like, what are you talking about?
Essentially, what is real?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's scary.
You
is
think
like,
about it.
You don't know, because sleep
Yeah.
is such a realistic, it can be so realistic. Like you guys were saying about your astral projection.
Yeah.
Did I say it wrong?
No. It's just funny.
You guys, like, you felt so vivid going down the stairs. You thought
Yeah.
that was real. And you don't even know
Yeah.
right now whether it was real or not.
But then what is real? Because that was real to you, not to your dad. Mm-hmm. So,
The conspiracy is, do we have different perceptions of what's real when we're sleeping?
or when we're awake.
Wow, this rabbit hole, we're deep right now.
We are.
We're deep in this
I've actually
hole.
had sleep paralysis as well, but mine was a little bit different in the sense that I thought I was awake. And, well, obviously I wasn't. I opened my eyes and my phone was like next to my head. And I reach over to get my phone. All of a sudden, I'm frozen, kind of the same thing like you. And then my arm I'm reaching up for my phone. It's actually not funny. It was very traumatic. I'm reaching out for my... I'm reaching, and all of a sudden, my arm elongates. And
Oh, that's horrible.
She was Mr. Tangle in Mr.
Tangle?
Men. Mr. Men.
Tickle.
Mr. Tickle.
Mr. Tackle.
Is Mr. Tickle?
She was Mr. Tickle in the Mr.
I
Men series.
was genuinely, my arm was like at the other end of the room, and it was like waving about like this. And I was there like, this is really not okay. Like I'm not dealing with this right now. And then I was like reaching, and I was just like frozen, and I was like, oh my God, what if I like look like this forever? Like that's really clapped. And then
I would not be cute.
no, that's not hot. And then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm just like lying normally in my bed, and I'm just like this, and I'm like, that was weird.
Did you like check to see if your arm was okay?
Yeah, my arm was like numb. Like I hadn't even been sleeping on it. My arm was numb, so I'm there like this, like trying to like feel my arm again.
Alex, have you had any
weird.
experiences?
Well, I just find it really weird because it's like, is that a hallucination or are you dreaming?
That's
Like,
what I mean.
But what is the
It felt
difference?
so real. Like I remember opening my eyes and being like, that's terrifying. So
Yeah,
I would have started crying, I reckon, and that would have woken you up. So Alex, have you experienced sleep paralysis?
I've never experienced sleep paralysis,
Or
but
like
I
your body
have
freezing?
experienced sleepwalking, which I know is actually a thing that people can have, but I've never, ever done it before. I don't talk in my sleep either. I'm quite like just a quiet sleeper. It was last year, and I'd gone on a night out, and I went to go to the toilet, which was upstairs, but I didn't usually use the upstairs toilet. I'd use the one on my floor, but for some reason, I just remember crawling up the stairs.
crawling.
Yeah.
Is it just in your sleep?
In my sleep,
Okay.
yeah. Because I just remember already going to the toilet, but my housemate's door was like right next to it. So I opened up her door and just like looked at her, and she was like, I remember her waking up being like, what the fuck are you doing? And I went, what the fuck are you doing? In her room. And
Yeah, Alex, you're
Then
kind
I
of in the
just-
wrong here, babe.
then I just walked out, went back to sleep, and then in the morning, I think I got a message being like, were you in my room last night or was that a dream? And I was like, I was just going to message you being like, was that a dream or not? But how weird is it that
That's so
It
cool.
probably
both of
did
us
happen if you
didn't-
both thought it did.
Oh, it definitely did happen.
So you
but
probably sleepwalked.
the weirdest thing about it is that I've never done that before. I don't know why I'd been in a room. I'd already been into the toilet, and we both didn't remember if it was real or not. We were both
So
but it's just weird how your brain works. Of like, it's probably because we were both tired, but it's also strange because I was the demon in a sleep that night.
What if people
Wow.
see sleep paralysis demons, but it's just someone else in their house sleepwalking? But then what if you live on your own?
Well,
But
I
then
don't
someone's
know.
in your house because that's horrible.
Then I would call the police. 999 ASAP. Wow. So we actually had some of our listeners send in some conspiracies in terms of their sleep. So we've got a few to read out for you. Thank you for everyone who commented. Alex, you want to read them out?
They're actually quite funny.
They're
One
really
of
funny.
them is my personal favourite, is Michael Jackson sleep paralysis. So,
See, that would terrify
do you know
me.
what?
If I
have
saw
actually
him-
heard that people have this a lot. Yeah.
I'd cry. If I saw him
People-
moonwalking in my room, that would be me
Or
done.
like, you know, his like pale face, just
Oh,
like in
no.
the corner, just like staring at you.
It is a real phobia though. Like Michael Jackson phobia is a real thing.
Yeah, not to
Like-
add more conspiracies, but you know what actually it is. I saw a video of this girl and she was in Benidorm on a holiday, and they were all having dinner together, like the family, and there was a Michael Jackson impersonator behind her, and she was sobbing. She's like, I'm so scared of him. I can't lie, I get it, but like he is cool.
I
He does
do.
music. But
I do get it because he. I don't know if I
did-
can say he was a bit scary looking.
Well, he did
was
change
scary
race.
looking.
Yeah.
That is factually correct.
But people are really like, so this person who sent this in was basically saying that Michael Jackson was in the corner of their room.
See, that's
and they couldn't
awful.
move and they couldn't do anything about it.
See, he does look freaky.
Yeah.
This poor girl, MJ was having the time of his life. This poor girl's not.
Might have been dancing in the corner, but
I was probably moonwalking.
so we have
Maybe he did his little tilt over her bed. Tilt. When he performs, he used to do that tilt.
that tilt with the boots on.
He used to do that over her bed.
No, it's woo-hoo. There you go.
I don't like where this podcast
Sorry.
is
No,
going.
wait, no, it's he.
We have one that said someone hallucinated a swarm of wasps coming into their room
Oh, see, I hate
and getting
wasps.
them.
I don't get. That's crazy. Like, there'd be nothing there. What would it be like if there was an animal to walk into your room and be your sleep paralysis demon? Which animal would you hate the most it to be?
A massive, you know, like the
Spider.
spider from Harry
A
Potter.
massive spider.
No way.
I'd say like a rhinoceros.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. I thought it was just insects. I forgot about the bees.
No, I would much rather have a. Is it a rhinoceros?
Rhinoceros.
Oh, is it?
Rhinoceros?
I thought it was a
Conspiracy. Alex is
rhinoceros. I don't know.
But yeah, I would hate a spider
No.
or like an alligator. Or do you know what the worst one would be?
What?
A polar bear. They're one of the most dangerous animals
Oh,
alive.
no, I think they're really cute.
No, they freak me out. They,
No,
you know,
I
they
love that.
like actively hunt humans as
Yes.
meat, and they're like the only animal in the world that just see us as like food. Not even just because they're really hungry, just because they're like,
So I probably would take MJ over a polar bear.
oh yeah, same.
See, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I'd tame the polar bear.
Oh, okay.
Darcy's got powers like that.
Yeah.
There's another one.
We have one that changes their clothes in their sleep.
Oh, this is funny. So what did they do? They just like woke up and just changed their clothes.
Well, they woke up in different clothes. I think that's what it says.
So is that sleepwalking then?
Is that sleep
Oh,
dressing?
Yeah, I think that's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Imagine like when you're sleeping, you wake up and you think, what am I going to do? Change the outfit? Like, this is not drippy enough.
Or imagine just like stripping off and then doing what Alex did and walking into your like housemate's room.
Imagine you forgot to like change it, like just do the change of the clothes part, just stripped off and then start walking around. You would think it'd be like,
that'd be
get
much,
out.
much
Yeah.
worse outcome
Much
than
more
what
traumatic.
actually happened. So I'm glad that never happened actually.
Alex was fully clothed, everyone.
Yeah. Right, not to interrupt the listeners, guys, but I've actually got a really weird thing that happened to me in
Okay.
my sleep.
What?
So I went on a night out and I came back to my house and I was sleeping next to one of my friends and it's going to sound really weird. Oh well, we'll go with it.
Besties.
If you're watching this, Annie, I'm sorry that this happened to you because this was quite
I'm
terrifying.
glad you confirmed it was a girl, because Alex and I looked at each other not knowing
We
who it
started
was.
laughing.
Oh no, yeah, this is my best mate from home, Annie, love you. So I was in a deep sleep and I dreamt that I flushed a ginger man down the toilet. Right, that's not the weirdest part. And
Why
I don't know.
ginger?
I don't know who it was. I'd never seen him before in my life. It
Was
was
he
no
big
one that
or
I knew.
like normal size or like
Like a-
tiny?
Was he like a mini version or a jumbo man?
No, it was a big
Jumbo
toilet.
man. Oh,
It was
oh,
like
okay.
a huge toilet
And an average
he-
size man.
and an average sized ginger
Right.
man. Never saw him before. I don't know who it was. Don't know where he came from.
Ed Sheeran, sorry babe.
Well, maybe. But I thought this was really funny. So I start like hysterically laughing. I'm like, like full on like tears coming out of my eyes. I'm like creasing. It's like the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then Annie shakes me awake and she's like, Darcy, like stop, what's going on? And I'm just like absolutely cackling. I'm like,
In your sleep?
No.
Oh, no, I don't like that. I'd be so creeped out.
I'm really uncomfortable right now.
She wakes me up and she's like, what are you doing? And I just like stop laughing and I'm like, wait, no, I just flushed that guy down the toilet. And she's like, Darcy, like you need to seek help. Like what is wrong with you?
If I woke up and my friend was hysterically laughing, I'd be like, no, good night. Out of this
Yeah,
room. I'm
no
not staying
way.
with her.
But apparently I was like, I woke up laughing. So I know that I actually was laughing like in real life, but it woke me up from my sleep because I was laughing that loud. And then she was
That's
just like, that's
creepy.
really freaking me out. You need to stop doing that. And it's never happened again. But yeah, that's my story.
It's so weird how but did you wake up really confused?
Well, I woke up and I thought that I'd actually just flushed this guy down the toilet. So I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, oh no, I was just in a like really vivid dream. And then, I went back to sleep and it was all fine.
I think it's really weird how like confused you can get after a dream, like, or like even waking up. Just being asleep can get you in such a, like, you talk about the dimensions. You can follow you in a different dimension, because the amount of times my mum's like come in my room when I'm at home and she's like, oh, I need to just grab this, or I need to just quickly put your washing on the table or something. I do my own washing. There's a preference.
Well done, Lauren. Baited herself out here.
Anyway, she'll come in and I'll wake up and like, she'll be like, you're right, sorry, just doing this. And I'll be like,
yeah.
And I'll go back to bed and my mum was like, the next day I'll come downstairs a few hours later and she's like, Lauren, you were saying about a boat, I don't know what you were on about. And I was like, oh.
If you
halfway there.
could go to like another dimension,
Ooh.
where would you go?
I would go to a dimension where everything's made out of food. So basically a dimension that's like cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I know what
imagine,
you mean now,
my dad was giving me a weird look, but listen, imagine you walk up and this camera that was filming right now is made of chocolate. I'm hungry, take a bite.
What if it's made of like spinach?
Well, I'll go find something
I'd probably
that's
go and like eat the microphone instead then. Probably wouldn't actively go to the, unless it's all salad parts, and then I probably wouldn't be in that dimension. But imagine like, have you ever seen Cloudy Chance Meatballs?
Yeah.
And like one of the houses is made of jelly. She has like a jelly wristband. I want a jelly wristband. I'll just get a new house.
Are you ready for this, guys?
Go on.
I would go to the dinosaurs.
Really?
I love dinosaurs. I was obsessed with dinosaurs as a child, and I honestly feel like I would just be really happy there.
So in terms of lucid dreaming, then, do you reckon we could relax our bodies enough to try enter one of these dimensions?
Yeah.
Could you relax your body enough to get to a dinosaur dimension?
Should we try?
Do you know what? Hang on.
Alex, what have you done your dimension yet?
It's a rhinoceros. Is that what you said? Sorry.
Rhinoceros.
Why are we going back to this? I thought we already established it's called a rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros.
So guys, Alex would go to a dimension that has just rhinoceroses everywhere.
No, I wouldn't. I would go.
Are you saying it like
I'm like mocking her.
Oh.
I don't know where I'd go actually. Back to lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
I would love to try and see if I could lucid dream. Maybe not at the moment, bit stressed out. But I reckon it could be easy to try, because loads of people meditate and go somewhere else. I think when I was like 17, I used to try and meditate, and that was quite nice.
It's weird how like sleep is something that's not really in your control, but you can control lucid dreaming if you like. I don't know how you do it, but
I've actually lucid dreamed before.
Have you?
Yeah, and it's really crazy because it feels like real life.
So
What
can
was
you
it
just,
like?
for everyone listening, can you like define lucid dreaming? Like, what is lucid dreaming?
So lucid dreaming, well, how I had it was where you are asleep, but it feels like real life. Just clearing my throat. It feels like real life, and you can control what happens in the dream. So if like you make something happen, then you're like, oh, actually, no, I should have said something different. You can just rewind it and then do it again. So you're in full control. Like your brain is in full control of what happens, who's in it, what they do, how they act.
It's like a play. So weird.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie that's like it's a movie on Netflix that you can choose the options?
Yeah.
Is it like a bit like that? Like you're lucid dreaming and you can just pick like, what am I going to do right now?
Yeah, so it's basically like how we're
crazy.
all talking right now. Say if I said something and I was like, oh, didn't want to say that, I could just be like, okay, let's just go back a bit, and then I could rehab the
But what is
conversation.
the going back?
So
what is the
weird.
going back part? Like what is that?
In your head, like you know you're asleep. So you'll be like in your head, oh, I know I'm asleep right now, so therefore what I'm dreaming, I'm in control of it because it's in my head. So let me just skip back a few minutes and then have
try
the
again.
conversation. It's mental. And to be fair, like I don't lucid dream a lot. Like I probably had like 2 or 3. But sometimes if I'm like near to lucid dreaming, I will just be having a normal dream and I'll still have sort of the ability to sort of skip back a bit, or for people to do things differently, I'll just make them do what I want them to do.
Will you be actively trying to lucid dream, or does this just happen?
No, it just happens. But maybe some people are more susceptible to stuff like that, because if I've done astral projecting, as I believe that I have, and I've also had a few lucid dreams, maybe I don't know.
I think some people are more susceptible to things like that, because like if you said you're not actively trying to do it, then there's got to be a reason why you've had.
I think it goes back to like mental health then. It goes back to like people who maybe are a bit more anxious or get stressed a bit more in everyday life. People who have had like a really bad day that day and like have cried, and maybe it just like depends on emotions.
I also think sometimes like, well, this is what I personally think. It's more like about your spiritual, like you don't even have to be spiritual, but some people are just more.
Some people can feel more connected to the spiritual side and like religion and stuff. So maybe why.
But I've just thought of a conspiracy.
Go Go on,
that
Alex.
Enlighten
you'll
us.
probably know about. But have you heard that conspiracy that when you're in your dream, you should never ever let anyone know that you know you're dreaming?
I've
because
not.
they'll
Why
like.
is my heart beating really fast right now?
So
Why?
it's like this thing where people have said, "Oh, in my dream last night, they might have been lucid dreaming or just dreaming." They were like, "Oh wait, I'm dreaming right now, aren't I? So this doesn't matter." And the people all just like stopped and looked at them, and they were like trying to keep them quiet, be like, "You're not supposed to know that."
You've just raised my arm hairs.
It's like you're breaking the fourth wall. So everyone just, you know, like the Truman Show.
Oh my God,
a bit
yeah.
like that.
Oh, it makes me
So
feel sick,
everyone sort
Alex.
of just stops and looks at you, like,
Okay, so-
how dare you say that?
It's like, so
this is
the
not a
characters
dream.
in the dream
Yeah.
are looking at you like, why have you decided to say that?
Yeah. So imagine if I said to you two right now, "Oh, well, this doesn't matter, I'm dreaming," and you both just looked at me like,
Should we reenact it?
Okay, go on.
To face this way.
"I think I'm dreaming, so it doesn't even matter." See, it's fucking...
No, I've actually,
it's
I
fucking
genuinely,
weird.
like, I just got a shiver down my spine. That's really freaked me out.
That's crazy.
I do think when when you start a dream, you think, "Oh, what should I dream about?" And you never end up really dreaming about it anyway.
Yeah.
I have, in some of my dreams, I do feel more in control and I know that I'm dreaming.
Me
It's not a
too.
lucid dream.
But I also don't think I'm in like full like no control that I could even attempt
Yeah.
to say I'm dreaming right now.
Yeah.
I might try that
I just
tonight.
kind of know.
I actually might.
I just kind of like when I'm in like a lucid dream, I just kind of know. Oh, I'm on a boat, for example, right now.
Yeah.
Let's just go to this island, but I can't make the decisions. I just kind of know. Let us know what you think about that conspiracy, because that's crazy.
It's almost
I'm
like
scared to
your
debunk
brain-
that.
Yeah, it's like your brain is like against you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If it's like characters and like situations and things that are happening that your brain has created and then you're challenging that, it's almost like your brain being like, "Oh no, I'm in control here."
Unless you, Alex was right, and you do enter another dimension, and they're the characters of that dimension. And every dimension,
Yeah.
maybe, guys, I'm onto something. Maybe each dimension has certain characters. So sleep paralysis is when you're not in those dimensions, but a character from that dimension comes and visits you.
Oh.
And that
You're,
could
like,
be like
in
the man
between.
or woman,
Because-
and they might drag you into dimension later on.
Because they do say, like, you still have the same characters in your life in different dimensions. So in your sleep, everyone you know that's in there is just in your different life.
So you guys all have a Darcy.
Yeah.
Lucky us.
Lucky you guys.
So this is another thing we forgot to mention. Like, if you've thought about someone throughout the day,
Yeah.
and you've thought about someone in terms negative, positive, doesn't really matter. You do tend to pop up in your dream because your subconscious is still thinking. Like,
Yeah.
once, I remember, this is such a random thing. I was looking on Facebook, and a lady that I knew from years ago got married, and I just saw her on Facebook, but I just flicked past. That night, that person was in my dream, and I just think it's so amazing how the subconscious works and just puts people in your dreams that you've thought
Yeah.
about that day.
No, it is
Isn't
weird.
Not always, but like I feel like
It's
that's
also
common.
like how they say when you dream something, it's going to happen.
I don't like
or
that.
it's not gonna ever
or
gonna
it's
happen.
not going to happen. Like if you, I don't know, you dreamt that you're going to be late for work or something, like you will be like that week. Like it's just like
Is
weird.
that like deja vu then?
That's what deja vu
Ooh.
could be, but they also say that dreams, if you dream it and you remember it the next day, so if I've woken up and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what the dream is, it will never happen in your life because it's your subconscious making up stories that are unrealistic.
Do you know what's so weird about deja vu though? Is like, it's always just mundane, boring conversations
Yeah.
that I remember. It's probably
Yeah.
because we all have the same conversations every day. But it's always things where I'm like, I've had this before.
It's so weird. Like, I'll be in the newsroom and I'll be walking around and I'm like, wait, this day's happened.
Yeah,
To be fair, it
sometimes
happens
it's-
5 days a
yeah,
week.
sometimes it's like not even when you're speaking to someone. Like there's been times where I've just been walking, like just like on my own, headphones in, and I've been like, I've lived this day before, and I'm like, I
Do you know
think
what's
I've
weird
seen
though?
this
Real
film
before.
It's like
And
a,
she
it's
didn't
like
like the
not even
ending.
like a I think this has happened before. I always feel like a wave over.
Yeah.
I know that sounds
What, of
really
deja vu?
dramatic. Yeah,
I feel a wave.
Genuinely, like my body's like I
wave.
feel weird. Like I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't
oh, I
just
don't
suddenly like you
it.
don't just suddenly think it. Like I actually feel like I'm walking and it takes me back. I'm like,
yeah, I'm
whoa.
like, ooh.
Yeah,
and
it's
my
like
eyes
an
will go like, a
emotion.
bit like and I don't like it. It creeps me out.
I even like I'm like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. Like, not that I guarantee I know what's gonna happen, but like as it's happening, I'm like, oh, I knew this was gonna happen in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like as it's happening, I'm like, whoa, I knew this would happen. Very strange.
You know what people do say as well? This is a bit irrelevant to deja vu, but they do say when you dream about someone, say like the woman you were on about before, some people say that when you dream about someone, they also dream
dreaming
about
of you.
Yeah.
I've
and
heard
there's
this.
sort of a connection there. But then I don't know if I completely agree with that, but I remember one day when I was in high school, 2 of the people that were in my class came in, both had dreams about each other. The exact same things happened, the exact same conversations, and they were obviously in separate houses.
I don't like that.
And they came in and they were like, oh, I had a dream about you. And then they spoke and it was the exact same dream.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay, guys, we've got one more conspiracy for you. And this could be one of the most frightening. Alex, take us away, babe.
So I have seen on TikTok so many times liminal spaces, like the back rooms of dreams that you think about. When I think about them anyway, it's from your childhood. That's where I think about
it's
them
like
from.
a nostalgia.
It's like a place where you feel like you've been to before.
It's like an old playroom or something. Soft play spot.
Or like old, just like water parks. Not even water parks, just like rooms with like
Deserted
dim light
places,
with just
yeah.
like weird water. And you can, like, I've been there in my dreams before.
Yeah, they are backdrops of people's dreams, like the classic backdrops. One I genuinely, guys, Hannah and I always know. It's this like almost, it's like this like basement swimming pool. It's got really low ceiling. It's like a really small room, and it's like you have to go downstairs to get to the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah,
like a
I know
swimming pool
what
that
you
still covers some of the stairs. And it's like a swimming pool with
And
like
it's
weird
tiled.
tiled. No, Darcy, I don't like it. It's
tiles.
white tiles.
But these places,
light.
they don't exist.
really dim lights.
Yeah, dim lights, horrible lighting, like yellow lighting. But these places, they don't exist. So it's
But they do
weird.
in our subconscious. so
Is it
what
that?
It's like just weird places. But why do we all think about them? Like, there's got to be a reason why
There's
we all
got to be
think.
something that we've seen online, or I mean, this is a whole conspiracy of it, guys. We either, it's either a spiritual thing or something that people want us to know, or we've just seen it online or on the internet. But this is the whole fun of it. Like, what is it?
This is
How
the
have people had the
thing.
same backdrop?
This is the thing, like, people have such different experiences, but when people experience these, like, shared, memories, or I don't know what they are, there must be some sort of shared experiences that everyone is having to, like, create this kind of thing, but, like, everyone is so different, so how...
Yeah.
Like,
And
what
people
is
are brought
that
up so
then?
differently as well.
Exactly.
So
And this is, like, a global thing. Like, this is all over
Yeah,
TikTok. People
it's-
in different countries,
It's
parts of
really
the
weird.
world. It's crazy.
but I hope we've given you lots to go home and think about. Do you know what, guys? I'm not gonna lie. This has changed my brain chemistry slightly.
I'm
Do you know what?
worried to
I
go to
actually
sleep.
feel weird.
I feel
Yeah.
weird. Like, I'm gonna walk out and be like, "You're not sitting there studying. Like, you're not there." If you like it, stay tuned. Visit our website, Instagram, TikTok. You know where to find us. And yeah, we can't wait to see you for pod number 3.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Bye,
See you later.
guys.